All right, this is L. Jermaine Russell. It's September 23rd, approaching 11:30. I'm just kind of going over a couple of charts, but first and foremost, I want to say I know I haven't been putting up any recordings probably in the past couple of weeks, like almost like 3 or 4 weeks. I have kind of just left social media alone so I can just focus a little bit more on my trading itself. I didn't want to just be randomly showing trades all the time. I felt like it was just more important during that time, particularly during the summertime when it was nice and warm and being outside and all that other stuff. That I really focused on just reading and focusing on the chart patterns. You know, these candlesticks are really can be really tough if you're not focused. So I felt like dedicating my time to focusing on the charts was necessary. So, and of course, got a new job and stuff like that. I had to accommodate myself. I apologize about the light. The lighting probably can't see me the best, but the main purpose is being able to see the chart. I want you to be able to see the chart because I feel like these are the things that might be happening this upcoming week. And we can begin with Roku. Roku, I believe, is going to fall. I believe it's going to come back down unless there's some type of news that will drive its momentum forward. And as we see right now, I'm invested at $72. I have about 50 shares. Nothing too like impressive. I'm not trying to buy a whole lot, but I do see that my nose is getting stuffy. But I do see that it is testing near its high. And once it starts getting here, I feel like it might do what like WWE did or Weight Watchers did. Is once it gets to its high, it will start to collapse just a little bit. That's what happened here. It got to its high here, and then the next day got high, and then came back down. Did the same thing over here, got to a high, then came back down before trading sideways. Same thing here, came back down, traded sideways. Excuse me. So I feel like it might do something similar. Let's see, Weight Watchers, I believe, yeah, something like that as well. Yep, it was, trading near its high over here, came back down, went up, trading near its high, came back down. We tried to retest, but it really couldn't do anything, came back down. I feel like it will probably do something of the sort. You see, tested a high a couple of times right here, and then just fell right back down. So I'm prepared for it to fall back. If it does not hold 72.50, I will be selling because I do not like holding on to losers. I will risk a couple of cents a share just so I can be able to see if the pattern plays out for myself. So as we can see now, it's bouncing off support. It's really trying to test that support before it tries to collapse on down. So this is where it's at, right? The 72.20 area. That's where it's been kind of bouncing off of, the past couple of trading days. Even over here, it was fighting to break 72.20. So, kind of looking at it, I don't want it. I really hope it doesn't do anything like this because I know Roku doesn't like to hold its gains. But I do feel like it's not going to come back down to 71, which I'll be happy about. But if it does continue trading near its support for some time, I will definitely sell it. So I'm looking for a morning seller, and hopefully I can sell it like in the 73. I was hoping to only sell at 74, but if I can get $1 a share out of it, I'll just go ahead and take it and run and put the money elsewhere before it falls, before it collapses. Now, I know I talked about Roku, so now I want to really focus in on the stocks that I feel like that will do some type of really bullish movement on Monday. And that would be one that I'm holding an overnight position on, which is CNAT. CNAT, a pharmaceutical drug. If I remember correctly, they specialize in liver diseases. So there are a couple of diseases that they really want to focus on, other than just chronic like liver cirrhosis and stuff. Cirrhotic livers are people who normally have alcohol abuse or something of that nature. Really kind of, use a lot of drugs and mess up their liver. So their liver start to shrink. That's cirrhosis. So that's where this company really focuses on the liver doing so. But if we look at the actual chart itself, we see that on the past 5 days, it has been generally kind of uptrending. So it was down here last week. I think this was the 17th, right? So from the 17th, which was a Monday, it tested resistance, came up to resistance, and then started to test resistance some more. Actually, on Thursday, I bought in the 545 area on Thursday, anticipate going into Friday that it would make a move higher, and it definitely didn't. It came right back down, and I had to sell in the 530s because I'd rather just take my little loss. But as the day went on, it started to recover, and I bought back in the 560 area, I believe. I believe it was 560. I bought like 150 shares or so. Yeah, it was 569 actually. So I bought a couple of shares. Figured that it would do something in my direction, and in the after hours, it started to make some movement. So I'm anticipating that this will do this, have some type of positive upward trend going into the pre-market on Monday. I think that it will not only hold over 580, but it will go a little bit higher, hopefully to the sixes. So, I have a green candlestick for the day, so that is very positive for me. I'm anticipating, we already said that it would test this. It's testing it. It's trading at that, and I'm hoping that it will test 605, and hopefully, even more like 615. I would like to see 615 being, being traded at and then being held. There's a couple of days, so I this is the first day that it's really green the momentum, and as we can tell, it did definitely make a bounce and bounce off its low from 515. So it's already up $1.60 a share, or dollar, or 55 a share. So it's already moving upward. So right now it's not overbought. I'm anticipating that it will get overbought once it goes over to the sixes, and we have multiple green days, more green days after that. And another part of my indicator is that it's over the 100-day moving average. So because of these little finite things, I would rather stay in this position, because CNAT will definitely, I feel, will definitely move towards the sixes, maybe 615. Hopefully, even go as high as to $8. That would be nice. But I'm just playing it safe. I'm in damn near 570. If I can get 40 cents out of it, maybe 50 cents, I'll be happy with the move. I'm really not trying to force any bigger moves than that. But I do believe that it can go up. Let's see. Let's start with VTNR. I don't know much about the background of this company. I did not research the background of the company. They did have some type of earnings that gave some type of momentum going into earnings, and then it kind of collapsed, but it also started to go a little bit sideways, testing the 136 area. And it's holding support above the 100-day moving average. So I like that. But what I like even more is the way that this chart is formatting. Meaning that it wants to test this 180 area, the high 180s, not the low 180s. I don't care if it wants to test 185 or 184. I'm thinking, hey, can it test 189 and 190? Because if it can do that, then that means it can go a little bit higher. So that's the name of the game, is how much of a price movement can it actually make. And really not buying into this stock just because it's moving. I wanted to prove that it can do something for me. I wanted to prove that it could actually move just genuinely just a little bit higher before I put my money in, because you'll have a stock that will move and you think that, hey, I should just go ahead and put my money in early and allow it to let it do its thing, and it could totally collapse on you. It can just go down and just not do anything. So what I like to see it do is actually make a move. Once it starts making its move, then I start looking at, hey, should I get in? Is it too early still to get in? Is it too late to get in? Or do I need to get in right now? Am I even in the right time to get in? Do I have Wi-Fi to get in? Because when I'm at work, it's harder for me to be engaging with my clients and at the same time pay attention to the stock movement. I don't want to do that. So what I do is, if I feel like, before my day begins, that a stock will go in my favor, and it follows everything down to the T, that I have more than one indicator. Like, I have 9 different indicators. Out of those 9, if at least 5 of them are not filled, which, let's go to this, right? So I am finally getting to some type of, balance sheet that I could do on my Excel. I've been writing it on a notebook, but I want to make sure that I put it on my Excel. So these are things that I'll be taking notes of. So I see the chart pattern, and with this chart pattern, will it continue to go higher? Will I see it go in the direction that I want it to go? And if it does so, I'll be able to write it down as a note, because there are so many things that could go on with a stock, and putting it down in a note saying, hey, oh, you're going up or you're going down, or hey, it's at the right type of pattern. It has the right type of pattern. I should trust the pattern. I should trust the process. It fulfills all my indicators, which this is why I came here. I need to write down the type of indicators. How many indicators does it fulfill? So that's one other criteria. And if you don't know what indicators I'm referring to, I do have a page on LinkedIn where I describe this, and I did in a couple of other videos as well. So yeah, those are indicators. Fulfilled. I cannot spell. Fulfilled. There we go. Those are the things that really that keeps me interested into the stock. How many indicators does it actually fulfill? Because it's not just I want to purchase a stock just because it's going. I want a stock because it not only just fulfills my requirements, but it also of an indicator, but it also has the potential that if I put my phone down or if I close my laptop, I know that it can continue to go up. I know that it will continue to rise without me even having to watch it. So that's the type of plays that I've been having as of late, with TOCA, IGC. Let me see. I know FNKO was one that I wish I got in on. GCG, ACBFF, those, OLMM, that's a stock that I probably should be out of already because I'm down, 3 cents, 4 cents a share. And I'm not sure if it's going to really hold support, but I'll get to that one. With VTNR, it's fulfilling some of these things, right? Second day green. The MACD, it had a strong green day after having some decreasing momentum on the buying, and it's not overbought, and it looks like it wants to go to be overbought. So these are some things that I will be looking at when it comes to that time, particularly if it comes down to 170. I would like to see what the movement looks like. So 170 feels like a better price for me to buy in at as opposed to the 180 area. But I do want to see it show me that it is worth it. I wanted it to show me that, hey, even though I might be falling down, I'm only falling down for right now, but I will be going up. And the only way you can really tell that is by looking at the minute chart. The minute chart will kind of guide you on what it could possibly do. And as we can see, going into the close, was it 15 minutes into the close, it was uptrending. It was going. So, it's obviously started to pull back in the after hours, but the biggest thing is that it was uptrending. So this is something that has my interest for Monday. Let us go to the next one. Let me see if I could. I'll do one more because I don't want to talk a whole lot. And this is one that is, cannabis. Cannabis has been moving, and I cannot say that I like all the extra volatility because I do. I was able to earn off of a lot of this extra volatility, but I know at some point or another this has to end. The madness must stop. It must come to an end. So, I believe that it will come to an end, and it is approaching its end, but it's just not yet. So this chart is kind of similar to what we just came from with VTNR. If you would look at it on the daily chart, you see that, hey, it has this U-shaped kind of cup handle formation, right? And what we are anticipating is another candlestick up. That's what I'm expecting with VFFIF. It kind of came up, kind of did a cup, but this one pulled back. And off that pullback, it's starting to find some strength again. It doesn't stay overbought very long. That's one thing for sure. So that's something that, and even back here, it will show you, right? 2 days, maybe 3, and then it's going to start pulling back, right? So here it's not overbought. It was overbought just on one day, really. I guess one day going into 2 days. So like you could say that's a full day, what have you. Same thing here. It went, continued, and then came back, and then it went up again, and it was very brief. So I'm expecting this. If I were to buy into this, this is really a 40-cent move because I have no idea if it's going to go higher than this. I have no idea if it will, test this 660 area and then this go klabunk back down to 620. So, it's kind of hard to see that. Like I said, I'm only thinking it's a 40 cent move, but the way that weed stocks have been moving, this could definitely go to $7. And who am I to say that, hey, it should not go to $7? I'm just here just to play the move, and I want to play the price action that is provided to me by the market. So what I will do is, once again, I'll draw on my resistance and support lines because these are important. These are very important, and you probably see, I remember when I first started trading I didn't see the importance of support and resistance lines. I didn't see the importance of drawing them in. I felt like just knowing what it was better than drawing it in. But I am a visual person, and if you were somewhere trading and you feel like you were a visual person, use everything visual to help you maximize your profits. There's nothing that is ever too much. You can never be not too detailed. You can never not know enough. There's always vast amounts of information that's out there to help you curve the education to where you need your growth to be. But if you're not trying to utilize them all, then you really have to question your dedication to your craft. So like I said, I like the dedication to my craft. I like the charts. Believe that the price action is all up in the chart, but at the same time, there are other factors that does affect price action. It does affect the movement, like world news, where there's so much going on in the news. Anything that this presidential administration will say could, particularly around tariffs, will affect the market. So, these are things that I believe, I think that's my food. And I think these are the things that I believe will help and be beneficial, and for trading. So, like I said, when it comes to Roku, I could see it going to 73.50 at the most, but I will be selling. With CNAT, I anticipating a move to $7. VTNR, I'm also anticipating another move above $1.80. Looking at like well, actually I need to do a little bit more research, right? But I'm looking somewhere around 210, and then I said CNAT. VFF. Yeah, VFF. Seeing this not really, this is really a 40-cent move at the most, and OLMM, I really didn't get into this one, but this is one that I'm holding. I've been holding at 60 cents. I need to sell it. This candlestick right here confirms it. Like, this is a 5-cent loss. Just drop my loss and call it a day. So that's what I'm gonna do with this stock. Other than that, I hope that whatever I was able to teach, you were able to learn. Whatever I'm sharing, that you would say, hey, this might be a good idea. So I'm grateful. So thank you so much. Oh, I need to go get my food. Take care. Bye-bye.